Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through stacks of information to pull out those key nuggets of insight, basically giving you a shortcut to being genuinely well informed. Today, we're embarking on a journey into a really ancient text. It's called the Shiva Purana, and, well, it holds some surprisingly profound and practical wisdom, even for us today.
Indeed.
Hmm.
We're going to be looking at excerpts from this revered Sanskrit text. It's like a rich tapestry, full of spiritual wisdom, stories about cosmic origins, and importantly, practical guidance. Our mission really is to navigate these fascinating stories and distill some key insights about Lord Shiva, the universe, and maybe find some pathways to liberation that feel relevant now.
Right. So if you're curious about ancient Indian philosophy or maybe these powerful deities and how timeless narratives like these can offer those aha moments about life, about,
Hmm.
handling challenges, understanding existence itself, then you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so the Shiva Purana itself is presented as the very essence of Vedanic philosophy. It's like the core truths distilled down. And what's really fascinating, I think, is that it's not just about abstract ideas. It explicitly states it can grant both um, worldly pleasures and ultimate spiritual liberation, salvation.
Both. That's interesting.
Yes. And it even says that just remembering it or even just hearing its stories is enough to, well, destroy accumulated negative karma, or sins, as it's often translated.
That's quite a promise, isn't it? Especially thinking about when it was written. The text mentions sages worried about values declining in the Kali Yuga. Maybe you could quickly explain what the Kali Yuga is and why this text is seen as a kind of antidote.
Sure, that's a really crucial point. The Kali Yuga in Hindu cosmology is the age we're supposedly living in right now. It's seen as an era marked by, well, spiritual decline, conflict, materialism, and just a general lessening of righteous behavior. The ancient sages apparently foresaw this, and the Shiva Purana is offered precisely as a kind of spiritual roadmap for these times, like a beacon, maybe. A way to find benediction and hopefully stop a complete erosion of values. A spiritual survival guide, you could say.
A survival guide for the soul. I like that. So how does it suggest we actually use this guide? What are the practical steps?
Well, it emphasizes three main ways, three active means to attain liberation. First is Shravana. That means really attentively listening to the stories, the glories of the divine, like truly absorbing them, letting them sink in.
Okay, listening.
Second is Kirtana. That's singing devotional songs or hymns. And significantly, the text stresses you can do this in any language. It makes it really accessible.
Ah, that's important. Not just Sanskrit.
Exactly. And the third is Manana.
Mhm.
This involves purifying the mind through things like worship, meditation, chanting. These aren't meant to be just passive intellectual things. They're active, direct ways to engage with the sacred.
Right, active engagement. Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really fascinating. Because the Shiva Purana isn't just abstract teaching, it's packed with these incredible stories. They don't just tell you about Shiva's power, they really show it. One of the most foundational ones is the story of the Analastam, right? The pillar of fire.
Yes, absolutely foundational. This narrative is key because it actually explains the origin of worshiping the Shiva Linga, which is so central. The story goes, Lord Brahma, the creator, and Lord Vishnu, the preserver, were in this huge battle, each claiming they were supreme. Suddenly, right between them, Lord Shiva manifests as this enormous, absolutely endless pillar of fire, the Analalstam, completely. So Brahma turns into a swan and flies up, trying to find the top. Vishnu becomes a boar and burrows down looking for the base. They search for, well, the text implies eons, but neither could find any beginning or end. It was infinite.
Wow, and this wasn't just a power display, right? There were consequences, especially for Brahma. He tried to cheat.
He did, exactly. Brahma, desperate to win, came back and lied. He claimed he'd found the top, and he even got a withered Kataki flower to back him up as a false witness.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So Shiva cursed Brahma, saying he wouldn't be widely worshipped. And the Kataki flower was banned from Shiva Puja, though Vishnu later blessed it, interestingly. But crucially, this event, Shiva's manifestation as the pillar, is given as the origin of Shivaratri,
Oh, okay.
celebrated as the most auspicious night for Shiva worship, because that's when he revealed his supreme infinite nature. The insight here is really about the futility of ego and deception against the infinite.
A powerful lesson in humility. Okay, so moving from that huge cosmic scale to something a bit more, well, intimate but equally dramatic. The creation of Lord Ganesha. That's a very unique story, too.
It really is. It's a story about a mother's fierce protectiveness and how creation can happen in unexpected ways. Goddess Parvati wanted a guardian, someone loyal just to her. So she literally created Ganesha from the unguents and dirt from her own body while preparing for a bath.
From dirt.
Yes. And she posted him outside to guard her door. When Lord Shiva arrived, Ganesha, being completely devoted to his mother's command, refused him entry. A fierce battle broke out. Shiva, not realizing who Ganesha was or how he came to be, ultimately severed his head.
Oh my goodness. And Parvati's reaction, I imagine that was intense.
Immense. Her fury was cosmic. It manifested countless terrifying goddesses who basically threatened to destroy everything. The universe was in peril.
So how was this resolved? How did they save creation?
Well, to appease Parvati, the other deities were told to go out and bring back the head of the first creature they found facing north.
Facing north. Any reason why?
The text often associates north with auspiciousness or purity. Anyway, the first creature they found was an elephant. So they brought the elephant's head, and it was miraculously joined to Ganesha's body, bringing him back to life.
With elephant head. Wow.
And then he was blessed by all the gods to be worshipped first, before any other deity in any ritual. It's a story about a mother's power, unintended consequences, but also restoration and integration. How something revered emerges from humble origins.
Amazing. Creation, destruction, restoration, all in one. And speaking of Shiva's relationships, we can't really skip his consort, Parvati, and that whole Sati-Daksha saga. That's another intense one.
Oh, absolutely. The Shiva Purana goes into detail about how Sati's father, Daksha Prajapati, really disliked Shiva. He saw him as this wild ascetic, totally unsuitable for his daughter.
So family drama on a cosmic scale.
Pretty much. Daksha decided to hold a huge yagya, a grand sacrificial ceremony, and he deliberately, pointedly, didn't invite Shiva or Sati. Exactly. Sati, despite Shiva advising against it, felt she had to go. Maybe had a duty, maybe to confront her father. But when she got there...
It didn't go well.
No. She was publicly dishonored, and she had to listen to her father just ridicule Shiva relentlessly.
And her reaction wasn't just emotional, was it? It had huge consequences.
It was cosmically significant. Unable to bear the insult, Sati gave up her life right there by immolating herself in the sacrificial fire. Her soul instantly united with Shiva. Her death unleashed Shiva's terrifying destructive aspect, his Rudra form. He created Virabhadra and Mahakali from his own locks.
Terrifying figures.
Yes, and they completely destroyed Daksha's yagya. And Virabhadra actually beheaded Daksha.
Whoa. So that's the consequence of that disrespect.
A very stark illustration of the consequences of pride, disrespect, and the deep pain caused by dishonoring divinity, or really any profound relationship.
It's incredibly intense, but the cycle continues, right? Because Shiva eventually brings Daksha back.
He does, yes.
Yeah.
Though with a goat's head, as a mark of his folly. And Sati is then reborn as Parvati, daughter of the Himalayas.
And she has to win Shiva back.
Through tremendous penance, yes. It really emphasizes that cyclical nature of existence, destruction, and renewal, and the incredible power of devotion and perseverance.
It shows nothing's truly final, perhaps.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Even destruction holds the seed of renewal, and devotion bridges divides. Which leads us nicely into the practical ways the Purana suggests for worshipping Shiva. Linga worship is central. And the linga itself is such a powerful symbol. It represents both Shiva's formless aspect, Nishkal, and his manifest form, Saguna.
So it's like the infinite made tangible.
Precisely. A way to connect with both the unmanifest and the manifest divine. And it can be made simply.
You mentioned mud, rock, metal, even just focusing on your thumb.
Exactly. Shows the accessibility. You can create a sacred focus yourself. It's about the interconnection, the intention.
Okay. And you also mentioned mantras. What's the key one here?
The most significant mantra highlighted is Om Namah Shivaya. Many people will know this one. The text says chanting it continuously. It even mentions a huge number, 5 core times, which is 50 million.
Wow.
Symbolizing really dedicated, persistent practice can help you attain Shiva's abode, achieve liberation. And midnight worship is noted as especially powerful.
Midnight. Interesting.
Yes. And the text also unpacks Omkar, the sound OM. It signifies the entire world, holding the power of both Shiva and Shakti, leading to both worldly success and salvation. It's considered the primal sound.
So the mantra is a core practice. Now, the Shiva Purana also really emphasizes Shivaratri, doesn't it? There's that famous story about the hunter.
Yes, the story of Guru Druha. It's a wonderful illustration of grace. He was a poor hunter just trying to feed his family. On Shivaratri night, needing to hunt, he climbed a bale tree to wait for prey. But, completely unknown to him, there was a Shiva Linga right underneath that tree.
Just by chance.
Just by chance. And as he sat there, maybe shifting position, maybe just waiting, he inadvertently dropped some bale leaves from the tree onto the linga. He also might have spilled a little water he had. Essentially, without realizing it, he performed the basic elements of Shiva worship through the night's phases, the prohars.
So completely accidental worship.
Completely. But that, combined with his sincere resolve, his motivation was pure, he didn't want his family to go hungry. This accidental devotion purified him. He attained salvation and was even blessed with a noble rebirth later on.
That's an incredible message. It suggests intention matters, but also that grace can operate even when we're unaware. It's very hopeful, isn't it?
It really is. It democratizes devotion, in a way.
What other sort of accessories or practices are key in Shiva devotion according to the Purana?
Well, it details the importance of bhasma, sacred ash. This is applied usually as 3 horizontal lines on the forehead of Tripunda.
Why ash? What does that signify?
Bhasma symbolizes purity, detachment from the material world, and the ultimate reality of impermanence. Everything eventually returns to ash. It's a potent reminder.
Okay. And Rudraksha beads.
Yes, Rudraksha beads are highly revered. The story goes they originated from Shiva's own tears, shed during deep meditation or penance. Wearing Rudraksha, along with applying bhasma, while chanting Shiva's name, these acts are said to grant immense virtue, almost like bathing in all the holy rivers combined. It's about embodying the devotion.
So these are tangible ways to connect and remind oneself. Moving beyond the specifics of worship, what does the Shiva Purana say about our ultimate purpose? How does it define liberation?
It actually outlines 5 distinct stages or types of liberation, showing a kind of progression towards union with the divine.
5 stages, okay.
First is Sarukya, attaining a form similar to the Almighty, like becoming a divine attendant. Second, Salokya, living in the same realm, the same world as the Almighty.
Like being in the neighborhood.
Sort of, yes. Third is Sanidhya, living in the immediate presence. Closer still. Fourth is Sayujya. This is actual union, merging with the Almighty, like a river joining the ocean.
Becoming one.
Exactly. And finally, there's Kaivalya. This is described as ultimate, unwavering devotion itself, being the liberation, transcending even the desire for merging, pure devotion as the highest state.
So different levels of closeness and union, with pure devotion being perhaps the pinnacle. And it seems devotion is particularly recommended for our current age, the Kali Yuga.
Precisely. The text suggests that in the Kali Yuga, achieving liberation through deep self-knowledge or complex austerities is very, very difficult for most people. So devotion, or bhakti, is presented as a relatively easier but just as effective path. It emphasizes that devotion, whether to Shiva with form or without form, purifies the heart and mind and ultimately leads to that supreme knowledge and freedom.
So it's a path that's accessible.
Highly accessible. That seems to be a key theme.
Does the Purana also give guidance for just, everyday life, how we should conduct ourselves?
Oh, absolutely. It offers quite clear ethical guidance. It stresses avoiding negative tendencies, things like lust, anger, greed, excessive attachment, envy, criticizing others.
The usual suspects, maybe?
Well, yes, the things that cloud the mind and heart. But it also really highlights the positive virtues gained from charitable acts. And it mentions very practical things: donating shoes, helping dig wells, planting trees that offer shade or fruit. And it makes a point that the size of the donation isn't what matters most. It's the purity of the intention behind it. Even a small act done with a pure heart is highly valued.
That's a great reminder. It's not about grand gestures necessarily.
Exactly. It's about consistent, sincere effort in both spiritual practice and ethical living.
Wow. Okay, this has been quite the deep dive. From these epic cosmic battles and really intense family dramas down to the power of just chanting a mantra or, an accidental offering of leaves. The Shiva Purana seems to offer this whole universe of insights. It really does feel like ancient wisdom that's still very much alive.
It truly is a profound collection. It shows us, I think, that the divine is both incredibly powerful, almost unimaginably so, but also intimately accessible. The stories consistently underscore that virtue, pure intention and devotion, however they manifest, even seemingly small acts, can lead to really incredible transformation and liberation.
Yeah, that accidental worship story really sticks with me.
Me too. It suggests spiritual growth isn't always about striving and complexity. Sometimes it's about sincerity, circumstance, and grace.
So maybe something for everyone listening to consider as you go about your day. If even unintentional acts of devotion, done with a pure motive perhaps, can lead towards salvation, what depths of understanding or peace or even transformation might be waiting for you if you approach things with a deliberate and open heart? What particular insight from this deep dive stands out most to you, and how might it subtly shift your perspective as you move forward?